Hello English literature students, you're here for your next induction video, so welcome to that. In the previous one I spoke about why English is the greatest subject in the world, and this particular video seeks to give you a task and provide you with just a really nice bit of writing. So without further ado, let's do that and take a look. There's a nice car. Necessarily, there are these things called exams, which at the end of your course you will have to do. And this particular extract is taken from such an exam, an A-level exam. This is from the political and social protest paper, but we're not going to ask you to do an exam paper or anything even remotely like that. The task here is to annotate the text, to read it carefully, and to write an introduction. Now, what we are focusing on more than anything is the writer's beef. What's their problem? What's their agenda? Why they got out of bed on that particular day and started writing the text. This particular question is an unseen passage, so students haven't been taught it, and they have to figure that out reasonably quickly. What is the beef? What's the authorial intention, is the formal way of putting that. So let's have a read. The novel, this is, I should start by saying, this is the sort of the blurb that you were provided with, which explains a few things. The novel, Fahrenheit 451, was written by Ray Bradbury in 1953. The title refers to the approximate temperature at which book paper burns. Set in the 24th century, the novel presents a world in which ownership of books is banned by the repressive state. Firemen are responsible for burning any books which are discovered. The story follows the experience of Guy Montag, a fireman who wonders why books must be destroyed. His friend Clarice McClellan, who prompts him to question the power of the state, has mysteriously disappeared. Montag has been hiding books in his home in an attempt to discover why they are banned, but has not told anyone he is doing this. In the extract, Montag has reported for duty at the fire station and is discussing the role of firemen with his superior officer, Captain Beatty, in the presence of his colleagues. A radio hummed somewhere. War may be declared any hour. This country stands ready to defend its... The firehouse trembled as a great flight of jet planes whistled a single note across the black morning sky. Montag blinked. Beatty was looking at him as if he were a museum statue. At any moment, Beatty might rise and walk about him, touching, exploring his guilt and self-consciousness. Guilt? What guilt was that? Your play, Montag. Montag looked at these men whose faces were sunburnt by 1,000 real and 10,000 imaginary fires, whose work flushed their cheeks and fevered their eyes. These men who looked steadily into their platinum igniter flames as they lit their eternally burning black pipes. They and their charcoal hair and soot-coloured brows and bluish ash-smeared cheeks where they had shaven close. But their heritage showed. Montag started up, his mouth opened. Had he ever seen a fireman that didn't have black hair, black brows, a fiery face, and a blue steel-shaved but unshaved look? These men were all mirror images of himself. Were all firemen picked then for their looks as well as their proclivities? The colour of cinders and ash about them, and the continual smell of burning from their pipes. Captain Beatty was there, rising in the thunderheads of tobacco smoke. Beatty opening a fresh tobacco packet, crumpling the cellophane into a sound of fire. Montag looked at the cards in his own hands. I've been thinking about the fire last week, about the man whose library we fixed. What happened to him? They took him screaming off to the asylum. He wasn't insane. Beatty arranged the cards quietly. Any man's insane who thinks he can fool the government and us. I've tried to imagine, said Montag, just how it would feel. I mean, to have firemen burn our houses and our books. We haven't any books, but if we did have some. You got some? Beatty blinked slowly. No. Montag gazed beyond them to the wall with the typed lists of 1,000,000 forbidden books. Their names leapt in fire, burning down the years under his axe and his hose, which sprayed not water, kerosene. No. But in his mind, a cool wind started up and blew out of the ventilator grill at home, softly, softly, chilling his face. And again he saw himself in a green park talking to an old man, very old man, and the wind from the park was cold too. Montag hesitated. Was it always like this? The firehouse, our work? I mean, well, once upon a time. Once upon a time, Beatty said. What kind of talk is that? Fool, thought Montag to himself. You'll give it away. At the last fire, a book of fairy tales, he glanced at a single line. I mean, he said, in the old days, before homes were completely fireproofed. Suddenly it seemed a much younger voice was speaking for him. He opened his mouth and it was Clarice McClellan saying, didn't firemen prevent fires rather than stoke them up and get them going? That's rich. Stoneman and Black drew forth their rule books, which also contained brief histories of the firemen of America, and laid them out where Montag, though long familiar with them, might read. Established 1790 to burn English-influenced books in the colonies. First fireman, Benjamin Franklin. Rule 1. Answer the alarm swiftly. 2. Start the fire swiftly. 3. Burn everything. 4. Report back to firehouse immediately. 5. Stand alert for other alarms. Everyone watched Montag. He did not move. The alarm sounded. The bell in the ceiling kicked itself 200 times. Suddenly there were 4 empty chairs. The cards fell in a flurry of snow. The brass pole shivered. The men were gone. Montag slid down the pole like a man in a dream. The mechanical hound leapt up in its kennel, its eyes all green flame. Montag, you forgot your helmet. He seized it off the wall behind him, ran, leapt, and they were off, the night wind hammering about their siren scream and their mighty metal thunder. Right, there we are, there we have it. I think just a fantastic piece of writing, personally. What do we want you to do? We want you to do this. And if we find the right screen, we would like you to annotate the extract and then write an introduction to the question. The question is this, and it's on bold in the screen. The question is, explore the significance of elements of political and social protest writing in this extract. Remember to include in your answer relevant, detailed analysis of the ways the author has shaped meanings. What you're effectively being asked there are the questions at the bottom. What is the writer's problem? What is the beef? What is the issue? What made Ray Bradbury write the text? And that's what we want you to do, to annotate the text fully for evidence of the problem, evidence of the beef, evidence of Ray Bradbury's authorial intention, why he wrote the text. And then we'd like you to write the introduction. The introduction should be something like 8 to 10 lines, typed up, uploaded to the Google Classroom. But we'd like to see you articulate what is the issue in this particular text. What is the protest about? Who has power? Who doesn't have power? How is power being explored in this text? And that's that, really. That's the next task. So have a go at it. Shouldn't take you a huge amount of time. It's just kind of getting you back in the habit of writing and engaging with literature in an analytical and scholarly way once more. Thanks very much. We'll say goodbye for this particular video. Bye now.